project K-member. So got everything supported. I ended up using these two studs on the heads here and here for my brace. You can get these at Harbor Freight for like 50 bucks. Kind of sits up against the fenders. So got the steering rack out. It's sitting on jack stands right there. I'm going to take the control arms off and then pretty much ready to drop the K-member at that point. Something interesting. You never know what you're going to find working on cars. So someone bent the steering rack hole. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. Might have to grind some of it, so that's fun. Alright, so I removed the rack. The rack itself is fine, however, that right there is the problem. Let me show you what happened. Now this bottom edge clearly broke off, so this thing's pretty useless now because the casting broke. But the reason that broke is because I tried to bend it. The reason I tried to bend it is it looked like someone tried to jack on the bottom of it. I kind of broke that piece off now, so you can't really see it. But the kit requires these solid rack bushings. Okay. Unscrew this. This piece is aluminum. It needs to fit in the bushing holes. Now this side, you know, slides right in there, no big deal. Even though I broke this one already, nope, because the hole's bent. So either way, I probably was going to have to replace this. My other option was considering to try and grind some of this hole out to open that up a little bit, but I don't know if that would have worked or not. So $300 later, remanufactured rack. Hopefully this thing holds up okay. I've heard horror stories about the reman ones, but we're going to put it in, and it has a 3-year warranty at least, so that's good. Always something. The UPR K-member is out. This didn't kill me, which always makes me nervous. So we're going to put this one mounted up. Ta-da, there you go. Now's a good time to change your oil pan gasket or motor mounts or anything you need to do while it's off that you can't get to otherwise. Just FYI. So I have the K-member loosely mounted into the car, and we're working on squaring it up. My old V6 video about this talks a little bit more about it. Basically, you use some plumb bobs. Ta-da. Put some tape on the floor. Mark your points. Like I said, the instructions walk you through it. Then you're going to measure the distances between the points. Make sure your K-member is square to the unibody. And then once that's done, just tighten up the bolts, tighten up the motor mounts, and then I got to move on to putting the A-arms and the rack in. FYI, A-arms first, because you can't get to the bolt for the rack if you don't do the A-arms first. FYI. Moving forward, you got to relocate the front sway bar brackets. Reason being is because the MMK member moves the A-arm forward. For reference, these are the non-offset A-arms, meaning the K-member itself shifts the A-arm forward, but the offset ones shift it even further forward. Purpose of that gives you more caster. It's better for handling purposes. Downfall, if you move them, if you get the offset ones, then you got to cut this thing out or remove the fender liner because it's going to rub. So I decided to do the non-offset ones. These are the same ones that were on my V6. Anyways, you got to install that bracket. Basically, you pull the old one off. You reuse the nuts and the studs that are in the body, mount those, and then this little plate, I have it kind of partially together. You use the nuts to mount your sway bar bracket to the nuts. That whole assembly goes up in there like that to mount your sway bar. You're going to have to buy poly offset, or not offset, but poly bushings to do so. There's my sway bar. Here is the bushings. Those are the rear. Here's the fronts. Make sure you get the right size bushings for the Cobra bar. The different cars have different bars. Basically, these just slide on the sway bar, and then you mount the sway bar up. So I'm going to do that. I'll show you that in a second, and then I'm pretty much done with the front end. I just got to put the spindle back on, the brakes back on, and put the coilovers in. So I had a bit of a 2-day delay because I am an idiot and ordered the wrong sway bar bushings. These are the correct ones. I had to wait a couple days from Amazon. The size was correct. However, you need these universal ones that go into these brackets. And what I did was I ordered the ones for the stock brackets for those. And the brackets that I have, these brass-ish looking metal ones, do not fit over the bushings I ordered. So therefore I could not put the sway bar on because I'm dumb. So I didn't really want the red ones, but that was the fastest ones I could get here. So here we are.